We're around the halfway stage of the Premier League season, so it seems like a good time to assess the new arrivals in the top flight. From the big money signings to the bargain bin pickups, not that there are many nowadays, let's make ourselves a team of the best Premier League signings of the season so far. In goal is Ederson. The most expensive goalkeeper in the world, but only in pounds sterling, Ederson has stopped the rot of Manchester City goalkeepers. After the debacle of Claudio Bravo, the £35 million arrival of Ederson was once again clouded with doubt, but the Brazilian soon put to bed any worries as he settled into Premier League life very quickly, with the only downside being getting his head caved in by a stray boot of Sadio Mane's. At right back is Kyle Walker. Back-to-back Manchester City players, but that's how good Pep Guardiola's team have been, with the new signings making an immediate impact at the Etihad. There were questions about whether or not Walker was overpriced at an initial £45 million, but the right back has performed admirably, helping stabilise a once rocky Manchester City defence. Most of the time Walker is playing so far up the pitch he's practically a midfielder, but he's probably the best right back in England right now, much to the anger of United fans who will continue to tell you it's Antonio Valencia. Centre back is Harry Maguire. One of the stars of Hull's relegation last season, it was a foregone conclusion that Harry Maguire would end up back in the Premier League, especially with seemingly everyone leaving the Tigers at the first opportunity. Leicester were the lucky recipients of the Sheffield-born defender, paying £12 million that could rise to £17 million. Maguire has made the Foxes much more steady at the back, and his ability to bring the ball out of defence will keep him in England contention heading into a World Cup year. He's alongside Davinson Sanchez. Tottenham's most expensive signing in their history, the £42 million man didn't seem like an obvious signing, with Spurs already boasting two of the best in the league in Vertonghen and Alderweireld, but Sanchez has slotted in between the two perfectly, initially making Tottenham an even more terrifying prospect this season. The young Colombian has hit some problems since late November, especially his daft red card against Watford, but Sanchez has all the tools to be one of the Premier League's best defenders. At left back we've got Sead Kolasinac. The cheapest signing in this team, the Gunners got Sead Kolasinac for absolutely nothing, arriving on a free from Schalke. The Bosnian international has been an absolute beast as Arsene Wenger's left wing back and has added a bit more toughness to a side whose soft centre has been called into question in recent years. And at just 24 years old, Kolasinac is probably the bargain of the season. In holding midfield is Nemanja Matic. Antonio Conte is still probably angry over Nemanja Matic leaving the club over the summer, but Chelsea's loss is Manchester United's gain, with the £40 million Serbian making the Red Devils much more solid in the middle of the park, a solidity that allows Paul Pogba alongside him to flourish. Man United paid a lot of money for a man who's closing in on 30, but in the short term, Nemanja Matic was a great signing by Jose Mourinho, who as always spotted the weakness in his side and brought in an immediate solution. He's alongside Aaron Moy. In a case of try before you buy, Aaron Moy was pivotal in Huddersfield's promotion charge in the Championship last season, and the Terriers were lucky enough to bring the Australian in permanently, paying Man City an initial £8 million for the midfielder. Everything good about Huddersfield goes through Aaron Moy, and if they're to survive in the Premier League, then the Aussie will need to continue his bright start of life in the top flight. On the right wing is Mohamed Salah. The best signing of the season without a doubt, Mohamed Salah was worth every last penny Liverpool spent on him, a club record €42 million, although that fee will be eclipsed when Naby Keita arrives. Anyway, Salah is no longer a spare part like he was at Chelsea. His years in Italy have allowed him to develop his game and become one of the most feared forwards in Europe, with his lightning pace and angled runs almost impossible to stop. Salah has been scoring for fun in red and should continue to do so as he prepares to represent Egypt at the 2018 World Cup. On the left flank is Richarlison. The Brazilian was signed by Watford for £11.2 million from Fluminense in the summer, and to be honest, he sounded more like a Football Manager regen than a Premier League star when the news broke, but everyone was sharp proved wrong, with Richarlison able to handle the rough and tumble of the Premier League, playing a key role in Watford's sublime start of the season. Richarlison has already attracted attention from even bigger clubs, and it'll be hard for the Hornets to keep hold of the youngster if he continues to play at such a high level. In attacking midfield is Pascal Gross. Brighton's summer signings didn't look too impressive on paper, with Pascal Gross signing early on from Ingolstadt. The German created the most chances in the Bundesliga last season despite suffering relegation, so fans of the German league will probably have been excited to see Gross in the Premier League. Brighton fans quickly got acquainted with the midfielder, scoring 2 goals and providing an assist in Brighton's first Premier League win. The 26-year-old has been at the centre of most of the Seagulls' goals, as Brighton continue to go under the radar on their journey to Premier League survival. And up front is Alvaro Morata. He's the most expensive player in this team, but for a player of Alvaro Morata's quality, you have to pay mega bucks. The Spaniard cost Chelsea an initial £58 million from Real Madrid, and Morata soon made the Blues forget all about Diego Costa, leading the Chelsea attack in a totally different way, but still providing the same results. Goals have came easy to Morata, and his partnership with Eden Hazard is the thing of nightmares for defenders. So that's our Premier League best signings of the season so far 11. Let us know your team in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.